Hi, everybody. Well. What have we here? What is up, everyone? Oh my God, a super chat already. Thank you, Kimberly Brown. I see you. You're a real one. Look at me getting super chats these last couple of lives. This is, as the last one was, pretty much unscheduled, but this one was even more unscheduled. With the last time around, the one I did Monday night, I'd sort of been mulling it over throughout the course of the weekend. But this was breaking news. But in case you guys didn't have a chance to check out the links I left in the description box, I'll kind of do a bit of a summary just so that we can get started here and have our little kiki, our little chat. But as if he wasn't problematic enough. Thank you, Panthers girl. Wow, look at me. But as if he wasn't problematic enough, racist Star, turns out he's also predatory. I mean, is anyone with a fucking brain in her head surprised by this? Like, are we really surprised that he's also a hypocrite? I promise y'all, by the way, before we get started, I promise y'all I'm not becoming a drama channel. I just really, we got to talk about Jeff. We got to talk about Jeff, you guys. Jeffree Star, he's deleted over 4,600 tweets in the past 30 days, okay? Including huge batches on certain days. I'm looking at notes I've got on my screen here. He's deleted 842 tweets on April 15th, 882 tweets on April 21st, 905 tweets on April 27th, 947 tweets on May 9th, 164 tweets yesterday, and today, as this news of his predatory past has resurfaced, 1,025 tweets deleted today, and there might be even more as of this moment. I was looking at these figures on Social Blade a couple hours ago when I was first setting up this live stream and everything. He's infamous for tweeting and deleting, so like I'm not really surprised by that. It's just interesting to see these massive batches of 800, 900, 1,000 plus tweets over the past month, as if he knew some shit was going to go down and people might be looking at his ass too on the back of it. So who knows what all these deleted tweets may have been, not even including the ones he's been deleting today of people adding him because of these predatory accusations and incidents. And this is all his own fault. You know, this is all because he was inserting himself into this James Charles drama where his presence was not requested. Nobody asked for you, Jeffree Charles. And the problem is literally every time there's some bullshit drama in the makeup community. I've decided to stop calling it the beauty community because there's nothing beautiful about it. Every time there's drama in the makeup community, Jeffree fucking Star's ass is in front of it, behind it, or somewhere in the middle. He's always involved, and if he's not involved, he gets involved. He is now officially the #1 makeup YouTuber. It's official official after James Charles lost that 3 million over the past few days because of Tati's fucking WMD of a video. James Charles is down 3 million. That put Jeffree Star on top. And Tati, meanwhile, has gone from like 6 million to over 10 million subscribers in as many days. And Jesus Christ. I mean, I've already talked about how I feel about Tati in my last live stream from Monday, but the idea that she has gained 4 million subscribers from all of this makes me roll my eyes so hard I feel like I might faint. And here comes Jeffree Star, Jeffree Star, talking crazy about this entire situation. Jeffree Star, you know, he's popping off crazy tweets and then deleting as usual, when what he should have said was nothing. Instead, he's calling James Charles a danger to society. What else did he say? Hold on a second. Let me look at my notes. He's calling James Charles a danger to society. He's tweeting about how his, by the way, self-identifying as straight boyfriend, Jeffree Star's boyfriend, self-identifies as straight. So if you want to talk about pursuing straight men and fetishizing straight men, look at your own ass. But anyway, he was tweeting about how his boyfriend had to ban James Charles from their house because of James Charles's predatory behavior. He was tweeting at James Charles's brother, asking literally verbatim, "Why is your brother a predator?" and telling him to shut the fuck up. Well, guess what? Somebody Laura Lead Jeffree Star's ass. They were digging up old tweets about him and from him, saying and doing things that were equivalent to or worse than what James Charles is documented as doing or being accused of, right? Like the exact same shit that he was publicly shaming James Charles for days ago, he was doing the same shit. So what the fuck? There's an old video of him that's been going around of him like groping some dude and grabbing for his dick. That's been making the rounds. And you can see in the clip, it's actually in I'm Alex's video that I linked in the description box for this live. Alex shows the clip. The guy is visibly uncomfortable and just kind of scampers away. And it's also linked in the Queerty article that I have in the description box. There's actually lots of really good documentation of Jeffree Charles. Wow, I'm conflating these guys. Jeffree Star's abhorrent behavior over the years. Someone named @TheLightAlex on Twitter is who's been cited the most, I think, lately, because she posted I'm not sure, posted screenshots of Star's tweets that were allegedly up as recently as yesterday. He has, of course, since removed them, but they're mad old. I can't really verify the authenticity personally because A, I'm not on Twitter, but also he's taken them down by now. But all the sources I've looked at seem to be confident and seem to confirm that these were real. At one point he tweeted, direct quotation, "Who else wonders how big Justin Bieber's dick is?" And he added Justin Bieber in that tweet. This tweet is from 2010. Justin Bieber would have been 16, maybe 17 years old at the time, okay? And Jeffree Star would have been about 25. Need I say more? Same year, Jeffree Star on Twitter, quote, "I've had so many straight boys naked that I think I deserve a Lifetime Achievement Award." Need I go on? Probably not, but let's go. Same year, Jeffree Star, quote, "I wonder who's DTF tonight. Straight boys, where you at?" 2009, he's adding someone named Steven Struck. "I like straight men, not gay boys, baby. Heart, don't be a jerk." And then the real plum is he has an entire song from when he was trying to do the drag circuit and be kind of like a club queen. He had a song called Straight Boys. And I use the term song charitably. I won't listen to it because I've heard some of his music in the past, and I'm not going to. I don't believe in reliving trauma. But anyway, like these behaviors run the scope, in my opinion. You know, in terms of pursuing fetishizing straight men. Some are relatively harmless joking and flirtation. Like some of it, it's like people need to calm down. And this is both for James Charles and Jeffree Star. But some of it is actually assault. Like he literally tries to grab a guy's dick and the guy is visibly uncomfortable. And reportedly, you know, anyone who's calling out his whole hypocrisy situation with what he was saying about James Charles and his own behavior, which is just as bad or worse, he's just blocking and deleting anyone who calls him out because that's what he does. So now that brings us pretty much up to the present. It's just like, is this the end of Jeffree Star? Is he officially canceled? I mean, if nothing at all happens to him, that'll really prove that all of these people who unsubscribe from James Charles and their outrage over his predatory behavior are 200% full of shit. I hate cynicism and I really try hard not to be cynical, but it's really hard. Like, how can you not be cynical when you're a minority living in this country, and especially when you're a minority on this piece of shit platform that we call YouTube? Like, this platform is fucking trash. I've already talked about that before, but I feel like I could really like dig into how much it is trash. In fact, I'll probably get to it later because I have a few more things I want to get to anyway. But I honestly, like, in my heart of hearts, do I think Jeffree Star is canceled? Oh, hell no. I honestly think that nothing significant is going to happen. He's actually up about 670,000 subscribers for the month, 40,000 just for today. and the day isn't even over yet, at least not out here in sunny California. So to quote R. Kelly, which seems fucking appropriate since we're talking about predators, it's too late. Y'all too late. Like, there's been so many of us complaining about Jeffree Star and like pleading with people not to support him, not to give him a platform, not to buy his products. And yet here he is, the #1 makeup YouTuber. There was someone in my comments today under Monday's Live saying that Jeffree, this is a direct quotation again, word for word, Jeffree apologized 15 billion times. This is what someone is saying to me because, you know, that is what people do. Like, all you Black people who are still mad at Jeffree Star need to get over it. That's the fucking narrative. And then I had some other imbecile asking me if, or actually saying that I need to get the fuck out of here for saying that racism against Black people doesn't really have real consequences. I mean, if anything, you get chided temporarily, if at all, and then following that, there are no real consequences. Now, if that weren't true, why do we see these racists being exposed again and again and again, and then going on to thrive as if nothing ever happened? Like, they're just as successful as they were before being exposed as racist. Dog the Bounty Hunter, Duck Dynasty, Donald Trump, Jeffree Star. I mean, I don't need to go on. And most people would rather enjoy their privilege and just do nothing about this and say, well, I'm not racist. He apologized. You need to get over it. And I'm not racist. As if like one racist person gets to forgive another racist for being racist. Like, it's not on you to accept an apology on my behalf. Meanwhile, the offended group keeps getting told to calm down, sit the fuck down. He already said sorry. They keep fucking gaslighting us. The Queerty article that I have linked below also embedded a tweet from someone who wrote, and this was like very sad but funny. It said, me waiting for a white woman to cancel Jeffree Star now. It was like a video of a Black lady at her computer, just like calmly waiting, like chewing her gum. Like, what is it going to take? Because clearly our outrage isn't enough. And as funny and tragic as that meme is, it's accurate. I mean, if you're not a racist, but you support and or enable or are permissive with racists being racist, I got news for you. You're a fucking racist. And that includes YouTube itself. I've made no secret that I've got major issues with this platform. I've been clicking not interested when they put Jeffree Star videos and James Charles videos, and for that matter, Tati videos in my recommendations for years. And they insist on keeping their image very, very white and promoting those videos to me anyway. It can't be about being family friendly because Jeffree Star isn't family friendly. He's smoking weed and all this shit in his videos. James Charles is showing his entire ass on Instagram. Like, he's not family friendly. He does all sorts of very sexually explicit jokes from the clips I've seen. So if it's about being family friendly, Jeffree Star and James Charles, they ain't that. So why are they still promoting them? YouTube only cares about advertiser dollars at the end of the day because this is a business. It's a money-making platform. And when you have to kowtow to racial institutions like fucking Unilever and Procter and Gamble, then you have to start perpetuating that same racist behavior. YouTube doesn't promote creators of color or, well, no, they've got like their handful. They've got their chosen ones so that they can have plausible deniability. And then they put on this sham of an event called YouTube Black now every year, which that's another conversation entirely. But in my mind, they're too afraid to really promote Black creators and actually have equality in who they promote and who they suggest and who they recommend and who they allow to trend, because they're afraid that their homepage is going to resemble World Star or the Shade Room. Like, that is their fucking nightmare. They don't want that shit. And if this predatory shit does somehow take Jeffree Star down, our society will really be showing its ass then. Like, if this is what it takes, because of all the ways that he's victimized, marginalized, and offended women, people of color, Mexicans, black people, black women, repeatedly and for years. None of that shit was enough. No. He had to go grab a straight guy's dick. I'm really curious. Actually, I'm not. I should be curious to see what Tati does with this new shit, which is old shit coming to light, because clearly she has the power, you know, the weaponized white woman tears, man, the weaponized white woman rage. That's some powerful shit. We've learned that in the past couple of days, but she has already made it quite clear that she is also completely full of shit and only cares when someone offends her personally. So I guess Jeffree just better make sure he never takes somebody else's fucking vitamins. Anyway, that's my take on what's going on with the latest with Jeffree Star. This chat's gone mad fast. Tavi, they do need to permanently kick Jeffree Star off of YouTube, but that ain't gonna happen. I will be shocked. I will be shocked. Jules, I'm telling you, when they recommend things to me and I say not interested, they just recommend me a different video by the same motherfucker. Even if I've gone through, like, sometimes they'll give you that mini survey after you say not interested, and I'll be like, Jeffree Star, I don't like this channel. And they're still recommending shit to me. Like, that's an agenda. And the saddest part is YouTube can continue to do this because they have plausible deniability. Like, you can't prove really that they suppress content creators of color, that they don't promote us the same way, but the writing's on the wall. There's far too many people, and not even just content creators of color, but people who I guess weren't chosen by YouTube. There's plenty of white creators who do quality content and mind their fucking business, and then they just don't get that shine from YouTube's algorithms. YouTube decides who they want to promote. They just don't want to make it seem that way. They want to make it seem like it's an external thing. Like, oh no, like the algorithms decide. Like, well, you make the fucking algorithms. You have hundreds of engineers, and then there's people behind those algorithms deciding what those algorithms do and what they prioritize and who gets promoted and who does not. It makes no sense. Bayesian Girl 07, I have an entire rant about YouTube Black, but I will save that for another day. Nia Ballinger, I think there's like a DVR feature, so you can rewind if you want to catch up. Exactly, out there, Wild and Bee. Like, YouTube is in charge of their own algorithms. They can do whatever the fuck they want. And again, gaslighting to make it seem like because maybe people aren't making quality content or making engaging content, that's why they're not getting the views and promotion. That's horseshit. Because I've seen it. I've seen plenty of creators who make great content, and if they're not the right hue, they get stagnant and their channels don't grow past a certain point. It doesn't make any sense. Meanwhile, there's other creators making the same tired ass content that no one even wants to watch. And why are they still getting suggested to me? Why? Tone. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. People usually talk about like the algorithm, whether it's YouTube or Instagram, as if there's like one algorithm. There's suites of there's so many algorithms. And at this point, YouTube has many, many opportunities to actually promote change on this platform, but they've already made their decision on what they want this platform to look like. It's like I was saying earlier, they don't want their homepage to look like fucking World Star. So they want to promote YouTube and keep YouTube looking very white so that the big bucks from the advertisers keep rolling in, because Unilever, a racist institution. Oh my God. Thank you, Cece. You super chatted me the other day too. You're a real one. It's outrageous. But let me read your comment. Let's not forget Emma Chamberlain. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Like, I shouldn't even know who the fuck Emma, that was real New York, Emma Chamberlain is. I shouldn't even know her name. She is not relevant to me. I am not her audience. Why am I getting promoted Emma Chamberlain, let alone some girl who, like, made knockoffs of Emma Chamberlain merch? Like, I've seen that video recommended to me. I don't even know how many times. Who the fuck is that? I don't care about any of this. They have complete psychological profiles on all of us, okay? Because especially those of us who have our Gmails linked to our Google, to our YouTube accounts, which most of us do. I mean, most people have Gmail at this point. They know who you are. They know what you read, what you look at, how long you look at it, what you buy. They track you when you click on an ad. They track you when you don't click on an ad. They know every video you watch, for how long, all this shit. You know what I like, YouTube. Why the fuck are you recommending me Emma Chamberlain? You have an agenda. What is the hype around Emma Chamberlain? I mean, seriously, like, why? I mean, come on. Those of you who haven't heard of her, God bless. You're doing something right. If you've never heard of her, you're doing something right. And funny enough, Emma Chamberlain was rolling deep with James Charles up until a few days ago, but she consciously uncoupled with him on Instagram, from what I've heard. Completely agree, Queen Unicorn. Kim Kardashian, as I said in Monday's live, I applaud the end result of her activism, but I don't believe her for a second. Like, I still don't think there's anything sincere, especially since her entire career is based on essentially being a caricature of a Black woman without any of the negative things that come with being a Black woman. It's like Paul Mooney said, everybody want to be a nigga, but don't nobody want to be a nigga. That is Kim Kardashian and the rest of all of them to a T. Isabel, do I think this will affect his Ulta presence? Unfortunately, no, but I hope so. I mean, I still have to write a very strongly worded letter to Ulta to be like, look, I've been shopping with y'all for years, but I have a problem with this. I know for a fact y'all know who Jeffree Star is, and you decided to take on his brand anyway, and I am very disappointed in you, young lady. So we gonna see. We gonna see. Stacey Michelle, the reason you're getting an Emma Chamberlain recommendation right now is because the phones are listening. Like, it's interesting because we're in an age where things that are extremely crazy happen, but they're able to happen because if you talk about it or acknowledge it, then you sound crazy. It's like all this shit I'm saying about YouTube. I'm sure there's a lot of people who will be like, oh, she's just bitter because her channel is failing. It's just like, not untrue, but that doesn't mean what I'm saying about YouTube also isn't true. You feel what I'm saying? Like, the bigger the lie, the more they believe it. That's a quote from The Wire, which is my favorite show. And there's so many institutions in place that allow these brands and these fucking booty gurus to do crazy shit that if you call them on it, then you look like the one who's nuts, because what they did in the first place is so unbelievable, even though they fucking did it. Well, Alexis, he has bragged about like turning down deals with Sephora. I mean, I don't know how true that is or isn't, but I do know when he was Benefit or somebody did a campaign where they had a few different influencers on some kind of kit or a collection of kits for some of their products, and Jeffree Star was one of them, and people had to pull the products from the shelves. They had to pull the products from the shelves because people were complaining too much. Now, this was closer to when he was first revealed as being a racist, so this was still fresh in people's minds to some extent. But unfortunately, just as quick as people are to cancel someone, they're even quicker to fucking forget. But not me. I don't forgive and I don't forget. I'm working on forgiving. I'll never forgive Jeffree Star, but just as a person, I'm working on forgiveness. But one thing I never do is forget. Naturally cheese. Well, that's good. I mean, I guess you've got such a focused um watch history on YouTube that they're like, all right, this bitch clearly doesn't, no, not to call you a bitch. Sorry. I say that familiarly. This lady's not clicking on anything except hair videos, so we kind of get it now. But I mean, I watch a fairly diverse amount of content and I watch a fairly diverse amount of YouTubers. I don't only watch Black YouTubers, you know what I mean? So for whatever reason, that makes them think that they want to try again to recommend fucking Tati to me after I've already told them no. YouTube, no means no. Isabel, I don't really watch. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. Um, do Black influencers have this type of drama? There's not that many Black influencers, at least not at that level where we would necessarily hear about this type of drama. So that's one thing. We touched on this not too long ago. Maybe this was back when I was doing lives during Vlogmas. But in terms of like Black YouTuber drama, the only one that comes to mind immediately is the one between Jackie Aina and Petty Page. I'm not going to dig into that. But I will say the algorithms did get it right for me. Literally yesterday, they recommended a video to me by a girl named Kenya. Her channel is called As Told by Kenya. She's my favorite YouTuber now. I've been watching her videos like anytime I have a free moment since yesterday. She's like way younger than me. She's like 20, 21 maybe. I don't know. She's in her early 20s. She is so insightful, so smart, and she basically just does sort of like discussion, borderline ranty type of videos because she can get a bit heated sometimes, but she is amazing. Like in terms of her views on nearly any topic I've watched so far, it's like I feel like she's in my head. I see completely the same way as her on everything. And all of her videos, like she just does them kind of like I was at the top of this live, just kind of like getting all of her thoughts out. And then she has like little to no editing, like maybe one or two cuts, if any. And it's just her sitting and talking, but she's just so like insightful and she just distills everything to its essence so effectively. You guys have to check her out. I'm going to have to make sure I write myself a note to add the link to her channel in the description box under this so that anyone who comes and watches it later can get there easily, because she talks about lots of stuff. She's been talking about James Charles a lot. I think that's why her video was recommended to me, honestly. She has a few videos on James Charles, and her channel, this is insane. This actually gives me the slightest amount of hope for YouTube not being a fucking racist ass institution, but this is almost certainly an anomaly. I think prior to Tati's video on Friday, Kenya's channel, I think she said she had something like 4,000 subscribers. As of today, she has over 120,000 because of her videos on James Charles and just how spot on she is about all of her observations and thoughts. It's just like someone finally got the recognition they deserved, and it's continuing to happen because I think this sort of like literally overnight success, even though she's got videos going back several years. She went from 4,000 to 120,000 plus in 4 days. And I just hope that that continues to like logarithmically, exponentially increase because she deserves it. She is the kind of voice that we need on this platform and who needs to be heard and seen. Bye, Tyra. I'm actually going to get off here. I wanted to make this a short one because it is a school night, and this is the second time I'm bothering y'all this week with one of my off-the-cuff rants. So I'm probably going to get out of here in a minute, too, maybe another minute or two. Hey, Kit, just in time, but I'm going to be leaving this up. I realize it's a bit of a risk to even put Jeffree Star's name and face in the title and thumbnail because his fans are the type who will actually like leave people death threats. Like they're not well, which is clear because they support Jeffree Star. But I'm not afraid of YouTube comments, and if someone actually starts threatening me and shit, you know, the authorities will be involved. That's that. All right. Well, I think I'm going to wrap up here. Thanks everyone for stopping by, and thanks to CC and everyone else who sent me a super chat. I'm really humbled and amazed by that. I feel like you guys are making a point to show me that you're part of my YouTube fam, and I really appreciate it. So thanks for showing up for the live, everybody, and hopefully the rest of this week will be quiet because a hoe is tired. But I'm gonna call it. I will be leaving this up at least until tomorrow. We will have to see what happens with these crazy ass stands, if anything. Um, and we'll go from there. But thanks again for everything. And I will see y'all. I don't know when. Soon. Bye.